Zuriel Oduwole, a 12-year-old whose goal is to inspire young black girls across the world. This by doing media to elevate her speaker messages to young girls and giving a positive message about Africa to the world. She's had the opportunity to interview 14 heads of states globally and spoken to many presidents. And we're going to find out exactly which ones. Zuriel Oduwole is in studio with us right now, and we're going to talk to her more about her motivational speaking and her goals. Good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It's so lovely to have you here. So let's talk about your origins. So you were telling me you were born in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Your father is Nigerian. Your mother is Mauritian. So where do you find yourself? How do you define yourself?
Well, even though I was born in LA, I still classify myself as an African girl child. And I'll give you an analogy so you might understand it better. I'm sure you've heard of Toyota, the car,
yep.
Right? Toyota is a Japanese car, but they make it in Britain and they make it in the US. But that doesn't make it an American car or a British car. It's still a Japanese car. Same with me. Even though I was born in Los Angeles, my roots are still from Nigeria and Mauritius, and I'm proudly African.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, why? Why do you feel that way? Because a lot of the times, and you'll find, especially living in a big city like LA, there's this proudly, I am American, and you just become, you get this sense of pride about you, and you adopt this American attitude as opposed to, I'm from Africa and let Africa worry about their problems. I'm in America and I'll just be with the hip kids and enjoy myself. Why have you still kept up your African roots?
Well, from a young age, my parents always taught me and my 3 younger siblings that we are first proudly African. Before the American and any of that stuff comes in, we are proudly African, which of course I believe in, from being from both Nigeria and Mauritius. And also, just because we're in America doesn't mean we still can't be proudly African, because that's where our roots are from, is where our heritage is from. And we should be proud of that, because Africa is the future.
Yeah. So you give African American a new definition, in other words.
Yes, something like that.
Something like that. So you started giving your talks when you were 9 years old, and you started talking to Americans about Africa. How often were you not in South Africa, but in Africa? Did you live in Africa for a little bit? Did you experience it in order to talk to Americans about what it was like here?
I have indeed lived in Africa for a period of time, in both Nigeria and Mauritius. And because I've lived there, I see a lot more positive things than there are negative things, like, of course, you see on the news. The wars, the famine, the corruption, and the disease. And so I create my documentaries to show all the positive sides of the African continent to the rest of the world.
Yeah. So who do you speak to predominantly?
Predominantly, I speak to, well, first, for my Dream Up, Speak Up, Stand Up project, which I started when I was 10 years old, I speak to children in schools about the importance of education, staying in school, believing in yourself, and also following your dreams.
Yeah.
So I speak to children. And then also I speak to world leaders about creating policies for education in their countries. So that way the children in the countries, both boys and girls, would have a chance to get an education.
So how do you get educated? Because it sounds like you're a very busy young lady. Do you get educated on the road? Because you're obviously traveling all the time.
I'm actually homeschooled.
Yeah.
And so it's based off the state curriculum. The only difference is, instead of getting into a school bus and going to school, I just go downstairs and do my work on my computer.
Yeah.
But I still have homework to do, and of course I still have exams to do. But doing homeschooling, it allows me to get ahead of my schoolwork, so that way I can travel overseas for my extracurricular activities, such as interviewing African heads of state, speaking to children about education, and also creating documentaries.
Okay, so we talk about, in the introduction I said that you've had the opportunity to interview 14 heads of state. Who have you interviewed so far?
That is correct. I've interviewed 14 heads of state. Some of them include President Jakaya Kikwete of Tanzania, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia, President Salva Kiir Mayardit of South Sudan, President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya, Prime Minister Thomas Thabing of Lesotho, and President Jorge Fonseca of Cape Verde, just to mention a few.
Just to mention a few. Okay, and you want to add President Jacob Zuma to that list?
That is one person I'm hoping I'll be able to add to the list.
You want to, I know you told me that. You gave a talk in Diepsloot yesterday in Soweto. How was it?
It was great. I went there, I was really excited to speak to the kids there. And there were 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, and Some of them were in 9th grade, which is the same grade as I am.
Yeah.
So I was able to interact with them more because, having similarities. But, I had a great time there. All in all, I got to dance with the kids in the choir. I give them out T-shirts whenever they answered a question correctly. And so I had a great time there, too. And, I also taught them a secret handshake.
So what's your secret handshake?
I can't really tell you.
Oh, it's a secret?
Yes.
I said, oh, no. Okay, all right, okay. I won't feel offended. Is it for a kid thing? Only kids are allowed to know this?
Oh, no, my dad knows it too.
Your dad? Oh, no. Okay, well, we'll have to get to know each other better. Then you'll have to teach it to me. Now, you got a movie as well.
Yes, that is correct.
What, is it a movie, documentary? What do you have?
It's a documentary because I showed all the positive things of the African continent. And I titled my documentary, A Promising Africa.
Yeah?
And basically what it is a series where I am looking to focus on a few African countries over a period of time.
Yeah.
They are Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, Tanzania, and Mauritius. So my first documentary was on Nigeria, which showed in Lagos in movie theater chain. I then took it to London, and it has now showed here in South Africa.
You are amazing. So, if we want to follow you, how do we follow you? Obviously, you're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of those fabulous things.
That is correct.
What do we do?
For Facebook and Twitter, you can just type in my name. It's Zuriel Oduwole, Zuriel, and then the last name Oduwole is Oduwole.
Okay.
And then you can also visit my website, which is www.dusu.com.
Okay. Thank you for visiting us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
It's an absolute pleasure. Really nice. Look at that. 12 years old and inspiring everyone around her. Wow. All right. There you go. Without any more waste of time, let's get you